Okay, so good morning. This is Chef Eddie Tan from Help Cut College in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and he'll be doing a demonstration for you today. Go ahead, Eddie.
Alright, today we're going to do a simple dish which you can probably do at home, which is quite nutritionally balanced. We start with things like spinach. I prefer this kind of spinach, but if you can't, you get the local one. This is actually local as well, but it's a little bit more expensive, having long stems and huge leaves. Yeah? Easy to clean, easy to work with, and quite delicious. Yeah. Over here I've actually washed them twice, taken all the leaves. The stems you can leave it for another dish. And over here I've already pre-blanched spaghetti, no particular brand, anyone will do, just grab it off the supermarket shelf. And normally chefs will blanch them sometimes with a bit of olive oil, but I normally omit that step because oil in the water doesn't do much you only have to stir to prevent them from sticking. And I've reserved a little bit of the water, the blanching liquid, to be part of the sauce. In here actually when I blanch the spaghetti, a tip for you is that you always put a little bit of salt. Yeah? The salt will help you to give flavor to the spaghetti or the pasta that you're blanching. Most people make the mistake of blanching it in plain water, therefore it's kind of tasteless, and when you make a sauce it's just nice, and when you add the pasta in, it absorbs the flavor from the sauce, therefore the flavor is a little bit under-seasoned. Yeah? But again, this is up to your preference. Normally an indication for the blanching water, it should be about like as though you season a soup. Yeah? So if it's tasty like a soup, the water, it's perfect for blanching. Alright, over here I have some boiling water. So what I'm going to do is, it's always important to have it really boiling because green vegetables normally they release acid, yeah? Phytic acid to be exact. And if you blanch them in water that's not boiling, the acids are released into the water and it's not pushed out by the steam. Therefore, the vegetable looks a little bit more off-green. Yeah? So if you want it to be really green, make sure it's boiling. No, don't bother putting salt in there, it's just for a few seconds. Doesn't make much of a difference. So here you go. Blanch it in, stir it in the boiling water. Now you can see there's continuous steam coming out, and you can smell a sort of acidity when the steam is pushing the acid out. Yeah? You can see the water is turning slightly green as well, but that's alright. Okay? So, spinach done. All you have to do now, strain it. And this step is done. Yeah? So, immediately put it in cold water or ice water if you have ice available. Just let it cool down a little bit to stop the cooking process. Okay, vegetable is nice and soft now. Okay, if at home you got a home blender like this, the small one is perfect because for small quantities. This one probably costs about 100 something ringgit Malaysia. Get the spinach, squeeze them out. You see when you're squeezing them like that, whole leaves, don't chop them up before you squeeze them, yeah? Then the water won't come, the juice of the spinach won't leach out. So you preserve all the nutrients that's in there. Okay. Okay, now just chop it up a bit so that it's easier on the blade. Dump it in again. Put it in blender. This one great thing about this unit is that it blends it almost dry. Yeah? You don't need to add extra water in there. Take it a bit. And that's it. It's done. So you got your spinach paste. Yeah? It's good for children. I do this for my kids because they normally, when they see huge chunks of vegetables, they normally won't eat it. So by hiding this in there, they normally eat more vegetables than they do. So kids love pasta, and you should always try to incorporate hidden vegetables. Yeah, don't show them this video, then they know the secret is out. Yeah, so here you go, spinach paste. So now I have bacon here, but this is beef bacon because we're not allowed pork in the school facility. So you can, at home it's up to you. You can use chicken too if you want, just salt them a little bit and you can preserve them. Garlic, chopped garlic, cream, Parmesan cheese, and some olive oil. Yeah, that's all you need to get started. So let me clear this up a little bit. Okay, here we go. So heat up your pan. All this can be done prior to your dinner time. And when you come home from office, maybe you reach home about 7, you can get your dinner ready by about 7:45. So it's pretty easy to make and it's much better than if you eat out, because sometimes you want to be in control of what you put inside. And this is a whole packet of organic green spinach. Yeah, so it's kind of high in nutrients. Yeah? Easy to digest because now they are in small form. We kind of chop it up. Yeah. So get the pan hot, a little bit of olive oil or any other oil that you like. You can use butter if you want. If you're using bacon with a lot of fat, then you can reduce the oil because the bacon fat will melt, right? So a little bit of bacon bits in there. Depends on your budget and depends on the flavor you're after. Yeah, a little bit of garlic in there. Don't like garlic, you can use shallots. Stir them up until you can smell the aroma that you want. Bacon basically gives the flavor and the aroma as well. Garlic complements it. Okay, so now all you do next is you add in the cream and for your reduction. Just put in the cream, reduce it till it's thick enough consistency. You can buy a liter of cream and keep in your fridge for a week, yeah? So you can use it for many other uses as well. So cream goes in, a little bit of the pasta water. There's a lot of starch and protein as well. So the starch will thicken the sauce a little bit. And it's also a lot of protein because most of the commercial bought spaghetti is made of durum wheat, and durum wheat has, or semolina flour has high content of protein as well. So not so good for gluten intolerant people, but it's okay for most of us. Yeah. So reduce it down. Don't add salt because you have salt in the blanching water and you have salt in the bacon. And the spaghetti is just seasoned just nice, yeah? So don't use any more salt in it. And all you need is a little bit of pepper. And you wait for it the bubbles to stack up on each other, indicating that it's thick enough. Dump the pasta in there. It's quite a lot actually. If it's too dry, just add a little bit more of the blanching liquid to dilute. And it's not creamy enough, just add a little bit more cream. Yeah, just to adjust the whole thing. Just cook. You see, the pasta is not sticking to each other anymore because once you put it in, and there's fat from the bacon and the olive oil, and also there's cream, and also the liquid, it will separate the strands. That's because the starch is already cooked, yeah? It won't stick together so much, only when it's dry. So add a little bit more cream if you need to, depending on the taste that you're after. Stir it up. You can use chicken as well, chicken bits, any kind of meat that you fancy, or just strictly vegetarian, no problem. Yeah? Because it's a lot of flavor in the blanching liquid itself. So it's a little bit dry, so just a little bit more blanching liquid inside. And once it's hot enough, finally, just put in the spinach that you have blanched and blended. And you see it turns a very nice green, yeah? So you only have to persuade your child that this green is something interesting. Yeah. Used to show them Popeye, but Popeye kids no longer watch Popeye anymore. So you have to think of something else that's green. Yeah. So here you go. It's also for adults that don't like to eat vegetables. You can't taste the spinach really. Okay. Off, it's done. Finish with a bit Parmesan cheese if you want to. Don't put too much because it will dry it out. Yeah. See, there's a little coating. It's not too dry, it's not too wet. If you find that it's not enough sauce, you can always dilute with a little bit of plantain liquid. And that's it. Don't add too much cream because it'll be too rich. So that's it. Very fast and simple. So now we dish it up. So you can see what it looks like on the plate. Don't bother twirling them because this is for your own consumption. Yeah? So that dish in about slightly less than 10 minutes, excluding the preparation. Good, tasty. Yeah? You can add some sauteed mushrooms in there if you want. Yeah? But this by itself is really quite balanced. But mushroom adds a little bit of antioxidant into what you're eating. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.